Good morning. It's Tuesday, April 28th. Here's what we're working on. An OPP officer has died after a crash while operating a police motorcycle on Highway 401 last night.
I'm Emily Huang reporting live in Hamilton. The Salvation Army Booth Center is eyeing a relocation. The details coming up.
Bouncer and he falls. Sees fell getting off.
And the Blue Jays were shut out by the Boston Red Sox.
For the Red Sox.
Good morning and happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm in for Annette for the week and for a little bit of next week as well, as she's on vacation. So it's nice to be here with you guys.
Yeah,
Good to have you here. Nice to have you here. Did you bring your umbrella?
I know that I was supposed to, but I knew I was going to be indoors, so I kind of did not today.
Yeah, but you might need it later on. Yeah, but I needed mine this morning. I mean, we have had some heavy downpours already. I let the dogs out this morning for a quick one. They went out, came back in, put my coat on, went. It was pouring rain, and that in just that it was dry, and then all of a sudden it rained. But it's tapered off a little bit right now. But we will get more. We'll get some showers, could be heavy at times. We'll get some thunderstorms, quite possible for the day today. That's all part and parcel of a warm front, and it's going to be mild. It's already mild. We're sitting at 14 right now. We should climb to 20 later on today. But yeah, maybe 5 to 10 millimeters of showers today. Another 5 to 10 millimeters of showers tomorrow. The cold front will go through. It'll be a lot cooler for the day tomorrow, so it's going to be wet for a couple of days, and it's starting to get wet right now in a lot of areas. So we'll talk about that coming up in a minute, but first of all, let's have a look at our exclusive camera. That's the 403 on Waterdown Road. We have some light in the sky. Ooh, we're not too far from sunrise this morning. Not that we'll see a lot, but at least we're getting some light in the sky. No problems here at the 403 right there. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras. Check Nikola Tesla Boulevard. Looks good. Not raining here as of yet. Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us. We'll take the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Looks pretty good heading down to North Shore Boulevard. Nothing here east of 4th. All doing fine so far this morning. So the forecast in detail, and we'll check what's going on the roads coming up right now. The news.
Thanks, Brian. The Ontario Provincial Police are mourning the loss of Sergeant Brandon Malcolm, who was killed in a motorcycle crash while on duty.
Please know that this is an individual that sacrificed their life to serve and protect this province. An individual that was dedicated to duty, committed to the passion of policing, and extremely proud to be a member of our Golden Helmets. And I will be forever grateful to him for his service.
The crash happened along Highway 401 in Cobourg, just east of Toronto, around 5:30 yesterday afternoon. OPP Commissioner Thomas Carrique says the investigation around the circumstances of the crash is still ongoing, but preliminary evidence suggests there was no other vehicles involved. Any witnesses are asked to contact OPP. Hamilton police are investigating a workplace fatality. It happened yesterday at Recycle City, a waste transfer fatality on Strathern Avenue. Police, paramedics, and fire crews responded to reports that a worker had been struck by heavy equipment. Life-saving measures were performed at the scene, and the man was rushed to hospital. He was later pronounced deceased a short time later. The incident involved a commercial vehicle and heavy equipment operating at the site. The Ministry of Labour has been notified and is assisting with the investigation. The Office of the Chief Coroner is also involved and has ordered a post-mortem examination.
Family and friends gathered at a Hamilton mosque yesterday in remembrance of 16-year-old Nabil Askafi, who was shot and killed Friday night inside Jackson Square. Prayers were held at the Hamilton Mountain Mosque. Last Friday, the unarmed teenager was killed near the entrance of the downtown Hamilton Mall after an altercation happened outside and continued inside the building. Friends of the family say Nabil's parents, who fled the Syrian civil war for Canada around 10 years ago, are at a loss for words.
It's such a devastating loss for a newcomer family who said that we didn't leave Syria because we wanted to. We left because we escaped for safety, to seek safety and opportunity for our children.
They'd come to a country, from the war zone, and they didn't realize that they've just come here to bury their child.
Hamilton police say the 14-year-old boy who allegedly fired multiple gunshots turned himself in on Sunday and is charged with second-degree murder. Police add there's no indication the two teens knew each other prior to the deadly altercation, though they are investigating any links. A representative of the victim's family says they're looking to plan a community vigil to honor Nabil in the coming days.
Following a salmonella outbreak at the Piper Arms restaurant in Stony Creek, Hamilton's Public Health Department has released a report on food safety and restaurant inspections. The report says in 2025, routine food service inspections found 23% had critical infractions, such as cross-contamination or improper food temperatures, while 40% had non-critical infractions, such as minor maintenance concerns. The report says the city averages 266 cases of salmonella a year. In 2024, more than 97,000 gastrointestinal cases were not reported by people who didn't seek medical care. Hamilton City Councillor Brad Clark says the Board of Health should preview its policies.
Something is wrong in terms of how we're handling restaurants and how restaurants are protecting the public from foodborne illness.
Yesterday, Hamilton Public Health said the Piper Arms was given a clean bill of health, a pass with no violations found. The city adds it was setting conditions to ensure safety when the restaurant reopens.
Downtown Hamilton Salvation Army confirms it is eyeing a relocation. Emily Huang joins us live from the potential new site with the details. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Rick. Just behind me is 337 Gage Avenue North. This is in Ward 3, east end of Hamilton. This neighborhood is primarily residential, industrial, and commercial buildings. The site behind me is zoned for M5 industrial, which means it allows for manufacturing, storage, warehouses, and stuff like that. Salvation Army, along with Hamilton Urban Precinct's Entertainment Group, are set to file an application for a minor variance to that zoning bylaw for the relocation of downtown Hamilton's Salvation Army Booth Center, currently located on 94 York Boulevard, just across the street from the new TD Coliseum. As part of the application, they'll be presented to the Committee of Adjustment in the coming month. The Salvation Army's Territorial Social Mission Secretary says, quote, modern sheltering has shifted away from large institutional dormitory style models towards smaller scale, trauma-informed residential environments that prioritize dignity, stability, and on-site services. She adds that moving beyond the constraints of the downtown core would make this transformation possible through intentional design features that create a safer, more supportive environment for clients and staff alike. Now, the committee is welcoming public input on this matter, and Hamilton residents who are interested in this can do so in writing, in person, as well as virtually. The deadline to do so is May 15th at noon to have your voices heard. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Emily. Prime Minister Mark Carney is pitching a plan to create Canada's first national sovereign wealth fund, a way for Canadians to invest in major nation-building projects. Carney says the Canada Strong Fund would be an independent Crown corporation, helping finance large-scale projects in energy, infrastructure, mining, agriculture, and technology. He says the federal government would seed the fund with $25 billion, while also opening the door to private investors and everyday Canadians. The fund would grow through reinvestment and what's called asset recycling. McMaster University economist Colin Mang says the plan would differ from similar funds in other countries.
The federal government is going to put $25 billion, and they're going to have to come up with that money, likely through borrowing, because they already have a deficit. So it is a little bit different from the way that sovereign wealth funds are structured in other countries.
Norway and several Gulf states already operate large sovereign wealth funds. Federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre criticized the plan, saying the Carney Liberals are already running a significant deficit. Prime Minister Mark Carney is suggesting there will be good news about Ottawa's fiscal situation when the federal government tables its spring economic statement later today. The mid-year update will offer Canadians a look at how the war in Iran and new spending items like a boost to the GST benefit are affecting federal finances. Some analysts expect the deficit for the last fiscal year will come in lower than the $78.3 billion projected in the Liberals' fall budget. Carney says the Liberals are good fiscal managers and have made tough decisions about cutting spending to keep federal finances on a sustainable track. King Charles and Queen Camilla attended a massive garden party in Washington, D.C. yesterday. The event was hosted by the British ambassador to the U.S. Some 600 exclusive guests were invited to the royal occasion to celebrate ties between the U.S. and the U.K. Prior to the garden party, the King and Queen had tea with President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump. Today, King Charles is expected to address the U.S. Congress.
Well, no matter how you slice it, it was a bad night for the Blue Jays.
Bouncer, and he falls. Cease fell getting off the mound, and instead of the third out, it's another run for the Red Sox.
And that pretty much sums up the night for Dylan Cease and the Bluebirds. Cease pitched well until the wheels fell off in the fourth inning, allowing runs in the fourth, fifth, and sixth as Toronto lost 5-0 to Boston in the opening game of their three-game series at the Dome. Ranger Suarez allowed one hit over 8 innings and struck out 10 as the Red Sox won their third game in a row for the first time this season. They won their last 2 under interim manager Chad Tracy. Penguins are not going down without a fight.
Crosby back to the line for Letang. And another strange carom is freeze, and it is! A strange bounce and a go-ahead goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Despite blowing a 2-0 lead in the second period, Pittsburgh is still alive in its series against the Flyers thanks to a 3-2 win over Philly last night. Sidney Crosby had 2 assists. Chris Letang scored that weird winner with just under 3 minutes left in the second frame as Pittsburgh cut the Flyers series lead to 3-2. Game 6 tomorrow in Philadelphia. Vegas and Utah played nearly 5 periods of hockey in Game 4 of their series last night. Shea Theodore called game with 52 seconds left in double overtime when he scored the winning goal as the Golden Knights outlasted the Mammoth 5-4. The series shifts back to Sin City for Game 5 tomorrow night. Hamilton's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander scored 31 points and dished out 8 assists as Oklahoma City beat Phoenix 131-122 to complete a 4-game sweep of the Suns. The Thunder, who have a 12-0 record in the first round of the playoffs over the last 3 years, will face the winner of the Lakers-Rockets series in the Western Conference semifinals. LA, by the way, has a 3-1 lead on Houston. SGA averaged 33.7 points per game in the series sweep. Phoenix has now lost their last 10 playoff games dating back to 2023. We're getting our first glimpse of what Toronto's FIFA World Cup Fan Festival will look like this summer. The celebration will run from June 11th to July 19th at the Bentway, a public space underneath the Gardiner Expressway and Fort York National Historic Site. It'll be split into 13 zones, including a FIFA store, a 40-foot viewing screen, over 30 food vendors, an Indigenous marketplace, a mini soccer pitch, and a pitchside terrace. General admission tickets will be free after a City Council proposal to charge $10 per ticket received backlash. You'll still have to get a ticket on Ticketmaster starting May 6th. Toronto set to host 6 games, including Canada's opening match on June 12th. Congrats to Hamilton Tiger Cats video coordinator Matt Alamang. He won the Pete Pino Coaching Film Excellence Award from the Football Film Federation last weekend. The Federation calls it the highest award given for coaching film. Yesterday, the Ticats signed former Jackson State quarterback Jacobian Morgan and Kansas offensive lineman Nolan Gorsica. New York Giants Hall of Fame linebacker Lawrence Taylor is in hospital for a stomach-related issue that a representative says does not appear to be life-threatening. The 67-year-old has been in the hospital for a week and is showing signs of improvement.
Okay, 6:14. You know, we have a little bit of sunshine. I mean, the sun's not up yet. Another 3 minutes and the sun will be up, but we have a little bit of sun. You'll see it on some cameras here, but not a bad start to our morning. Here's a look at traffic. First of all, the 403 and Waterdown Road, our exclusive camera, doing okay there. I want to show you this camera. This is a lovely shot as we go to our MTO traffic cameras. There's the sun just trying to peek above the horizon, and that's a look at the Garden City Skyway. That's the east camera, doing fine. We'll flip ahead to Grace Road, Stony Creek, nothing happening there. Here's Fairview, so you've come off the Skyway Bridge heading toward Brant Street. No volume there. Flip way ahead to east of Royal Windsor and then on to Mississauga Road. going through Mississauga. We have no problems on the roads, and actually so far this morning the roads are fairly dry. There has been a little bit of precipitation around us, so be careful, and that's what's going to build in for the day today. All right, let's get to the temperature that we have at the moment. It is a mild start to our morning. We've come up to 15 degrees this morning, already 15 degrees. But look at those winds, south-southeast 30 gusting to 53. And we have a mainly cloudy sky at the moment. But that sky is going to cloud over. We are going to get some showers, some thunderstorms. We could get 5 to 10 millimeters of precipitation today. And look at that wind. It'll be southwest, 40 gusting to 70 later on today as that warm front goes through. So that's a look at the precipitation. The green, of course, is the showers pushing their way toward the horseshoe, and that's what we're going to get today. Beginning later on this morning, warm front going through, the red line, then the following cold front, the blue line. That's going to drop our temperatures for tomorrow. But today is going to be a mild day as we temperatures. Look at the line around the horseshoe, anywhere from 18 to 19, 20, even 21 for Brantford today, but fairly unsettled with that shower thunderstorms pushing across us. Tonight, the showers should come to an end. It'll just be fairly cloudy. Temperatures 6 and 7 degrees tonight. Tomorrow, a fair bit cooler. Will go below seasonal. High of 10 after that cold front goes through. The winds will shift around. But again, tomorrow it's going to be rain. 5 to 10 millimeters quite possible again for the day tomorrow. So out the door, 28th morning of April. It's not really, it's mainly cloudy, but it hasn't clouded over completely yet. It is windy and our temperature is mild at 15. Long range, of course, coming up. Simone, Rick.
Thanks, Brian. Coming up after the break, we'll say good morning to Emily Vukovic with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. Plus, coming up, Rogers offers a buyout in an effort to shed thousands of jobs. More on that after the break. 6:18 on your Tuesday morning, and we'll say good morning to Emily Vukovic. What do you have coming up in Chit Chat?
Hi, good morning. Madonna played a surprise set at a nightclub in LA. I know, I could barely stay up past like 9 o'clock, and she was there at 1 a.m., so good on her.
All right.
I know. Taylor Swift has filed to trademark her voice and her likeness.
Interesting. I saw this on social media yesterday, so I'm curious. I didn't see all of it, so I'm curious to know what we have to say.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. And later on this morning, HBO has unveiled the trailer for House of Dragons Season 3. Now, Rick, I believe you're watching House of Dragons?
Yes. I'm watching all the dragon shows.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a Game of Thrones kind of spin-off, right?
Yeah, this one I believe is a prequel to Game of Thrones.
Okay, well, we'll take a deep dive then.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Thanks, Emily.
Thanks, Emily.
All right, checking the markets. The dollar is down slightly to 73.30 cents U.S. Gold is down $56 U.S. an ounce, while oil is up $2.59 to $98.87 U.S. a barrel. In midday European trading, London, Frankfurt, and Paris are all up slightly this hour.
There were losses across the board on the Asian markets today and at yesterday's close in North America. The TSX and Dow lost ground while the NASDAQ was up marginally.
Rogers Communications says it's offering buyouts to thousands of employees as part of a push to cut costs. A spokesperson says some teams are rolling out voluntary departure and early retirement programs as the company adjusts its structure. Rogers hasn't confirmed how many workers are affected, but Bloomberg reports up to 10,000 employees could be eligible. The move follows a recent decision to slash capital spending by 30%, with the company pointing to a punitive regulatory environment and growing competition.
WestJet flight attendants have issued a notice of dispute following more than 7 months of negotiations. QP 8125 represents roughly 4,400 cabin personnel at WestJet. The union says flight attendants aren't being compensated for all of the work they do because of an outdated system. QP says on average, flight attendants work 35 hours a month unpaid. The union also wants improvements to scheduling and basic working conditions.
Taking a break right now. Brian will be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast. Good morning.
6:24, it's Tuesday morning. The sun is up, and we're seeing a little bit of it right now, which is nice. We have fairly dry roads. Let's get our MTO traffic cameras here. This is the Thorold Tunnel. That's the west portal. No problems whatsoever through there. We'll flip ahead to west of Eastport. Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us. Nothing there. Same with Guelph Line. All doing fine. I mean, there's not a lot of precipitation around us at the moment. That's a look at Lorne Park, and then we'll flip ahead. That's the 403. That's just south of the 401. So no problems on the 403 going through Mississauga right now. No problems with our temperatures either. It is a mild start to our morning. Temperature right now sitting at 15 for Hamilton already. We're 13 Mississauga, 12 Grimsby, 10 for Toronto. There's that little bit of sunshine this morning. So for seasonal temperatures now 15 for the daytime high. So that's how we're starting out. 4 for the overnight low. Those are our sun times and records for today and for school today. 14 by the first bell. Well, we could just dip a little bit, but we'll get some showers and thunderstorms settling in this morning. They're going to stick around all day. Later on this afternoon, there's that 20-degree high. Still the instability sticking around. So maybe 5 to 10 millimeters of precipitation today. Not a lot of sun, a little bit this morning. Tonight, the sky will just be cloudy. Could be some evening showers, but a 7-degree low. Tomorrow, 10, so half the temperature today. So a lot cooler tomorrow. Another 5 to 10 mils possible. Thursday, a nice day. Sunny, touch on the cool side at 12. May arrives on Friday. We get a chance of a shower. The weekend looks nice, but it's going to be cool. 8 on Saturday, 10 on Sunday, 12 for Monday. That's your forecast. Simone, Rick.
Thanks, Brian. Well, why can't I say this word? Archaeologists in Pompeii have used artificial intelligence for the first time to recreate the face of a man killed in the eruption that destroyed the Roman city nearly 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, the image is based on remains found near a southern gate where the victim was discovered beside a terracotta mortar, likely used for protection as he tried to flee. Experts say he died during a deadly shower of volcanic rocks while heading toward the sea. He was carrying a lamp and 10 bronze coins. Officials say AI will play a growing role in bringing ancient history to life. Pompeii was buried when Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD and remains one of Italy's most visited archaeological sites.
Very interesting.
That is so fascinating.
Yeah, curious to see what else they'll be able to do now because of the power of AI.
Yeah, you can recreate basically anything.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
Very interesting to see. And I've even seen stuff on TikTok and other social media platforms where they do recreate some of like the day in the life of somebody and, you know, back in the past, as far back as, you know, Pompeii.
79 AD, yeah.
Yes.
This would be fascinating to visit too. I've never been.
Neither have I.
On the bucket list.
That'd be very interesting. Stay with us. More to come after the break.